Good evening, everyone, and good morning.
Good
Welcome
morning.
back to another episode of Carnivorous Grandma Speaks Women of Wisdom series. Today, I am super excited to have with me Lindy from the Limitless Lindy YouTube channel. Welcome, Lindy.
Hi, Robin. Thanks for having me today. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here. I'm going to go ahead and read my scripture for this show. As you guys know, if you watch this show, I always read a scripture. This scripture resonates with me around women of wisdom. And it is Proverbs 14 and 1. And it says, "The wise woman built her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down." And I love this scripture for this show because particularly when I'm talking to women, I feel like we have made such an amazing choice for our health and for our physical house that we're building. And so I love this scripture. It really resonates with me for this one. And then also, a lot of times women are making dietary choices for their entire families. We're big influences for our families as far as food and eating is concerned. And so we're building our physical house, and then we're also, of course, building our natural house. So I love that so much. Lindy, I'm super excited to have you with me today. I have wanted to have you on for quite some time. And so I'd love it if you could just introduce yourself. I'm sure everybody knows who Lindy is because I just told Lindy she's famous.
No, no, just mum on a mission to regain my health. So, yeah, and just thought I'd share my journey as well to hopefully inspire some others that it's never too late. So, my story, I'll be 53 years old tomorrow. 1st of July is my birthday.
Hey! Oh
So,
my God.
yeah, so look, I've been overweight all my life. I was raised in an Italian family, so food was always a very important part of our culture. I also had a few issues. I was very shy and had lack of confidence, severely lacked confidence, and comfort eating was a big thing for me. My grandmother would used to, and great grandmother, because yeah, she was around then. Used to take me into the bedroom and give us chocolates out of a secret stash in the wardrobe when we were, a bit sad. And it's sort of that's something that's kind of been with me all along. So I've had a few things happen in my life. My mum got unwell, and my daughter with type 1 diabetes, and always just turned to food for comfort. And at 25 years old, I was around 350 kilos. Sorry, pounds, and I
Okay.
opted to have lap band surgery, and I lost more on the OptiFast shakes that you have to prepare yourself for surgery than I did with the actual surgery.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, pretty much failed that miserably. And by 50 years old, I had reached close to, if not 800 pounds. Every diet that I tried, I failed. I just couldn't follow any diet. I'd last a couple of days, and then obviously, you get into these little bad habits. You kind of, my husband would say, "Oh, you've been so good all week. Let's have a treat." And like, yeah, no worries. And then that would just put me back on that spiral of binge eating and comfort eating, and just really, it was a terrible pattern. Very hard to break. I was feeling I pretty much gave up on life. I just thought, "This is my life. I'm going to be this size forever. Nothing works for me. I'm a failure." As I can't diet. I can't restrict my food, and I felt like a failure as a mum, as a wife, and I pretty much just wanted to curl up and
Mm.
not be here anymore. I didn't want to be that burden on my family. But when I was 50, my sister was doing keto. She lost a lot of weight and said, "Oh, look, why don't you give this a try?" So I tried for about 6 months. I was sending her photos of my food just to try and keep me accountable. But I struggled counting macros and weighing my food. And I just found that so it was like I felt like a guinea pig, like I was a science experiment, and I should have been excited by that, but it just was a real chore and it was hard. And I just struggled with it. It was just seemed like too much work. And then I was in pain. I was large. I could barely move anyway. So everything was a struggle. Um, I was following Dr. Berry at the time and I came across his carnivore video and thought, this guy's a bit crazy. I just eat meat. And in a way, I was kind of excited by the thought. Like, I do like my meat. I'll give that a try. But I was almost the noises from other people, like, "Just eat, you're gonna kill yourself, you're gonna have a heart attack," and all these, end up with bowel cancer, colon cancer, and all that kind of stuff, and I'm like, "Well, this might end my life a little quicker." So, in a way, it was really, the wrong reason to start carnivore. I'm thinking, "I'm killing myself slowly, but I need to make a change. Maybe this will end it sooner, and then I wouldn't be such a burden on my family," which is the most stupidest and terrible way to start carnivore, but it's the truth. So I started. I found that the inflammation in my legs was going down, and my mobility was getting a little bit better. I was starting to feel a little bit better over time. I still struggled with cravings and things like that, so I signed up with SBG Gang, and I inquired about coaching with Coach Emily and Coach Raymond. So they took me on board, took me under their wing,
Yes.
and they helped me through it and through the cravings and through dealing with a family who they were supportive, but they didn't eat carnivore. So eating carnivore when you've got a family who are not eating carnivore can be really challenging when you're not in the right frame of mind. So they helped me through all of that, and I was able to find my feet with it all. And yeah, 2.5 years carnivore now.
Wow.
I my life back, and I've bought a new car. I can fit behind the wheel of a car. I've been to Texas. I was there at Heck Your Health. Got
Yes.
my life back. So from being housebound for 6, 7 years, um, to now just living life. I
Wow.
literally have been given a second chance at life. So I'm down to around 260 pounds now. So still on my journey. I've still got a ways to go, but there's no hurry. The healing on this way of eating has been amazing.
That is
Obviously, I'm no
so
longer shy.
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I think
Yeah.
you said that you were like 800 pounds.
Yeah. Plus
Wow.
or minus. I don't know what my official
Mhm,
weight was because my
mhm.
scale just said error. It said error for six years. They go
Wow.
up to 750 pounds. I can't remember now, but yeah, for 6 years I had ERR. That's all that would come up. So I was like, "Are these broken?" And then one day I had a number, and I thought, "Wow, it does actually work." And I've never seen ERR since. So they
Oh,
definitely
that's
weren't broken.
incredible.
Yeah.
That is
So.
incredible.
Mm.
How long did it take you to get so 2.5 years you've been on carnivore. So you said that you had the lap band. Um, so when you started, you were having ERR when you started carnivore, basically. You don't know.
Yes.
Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so incredible. Wow.
So I've lost around 500 pounds in 2.5 years. Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
But a lot of people are like, "Oh, but you can't lose that much fat, you will be dead." I have a lymphedema and lipedema.
Mhm.
So, those conditions alone, I had so much edema in my legs. A lot of it was water weight, and that
Mhm.
fell off really quickly at the start.
Right.
That's the inflammation going. And I was like the little Michelin woman, those big, like a marshmallow person. I was full of fluid.
Mhm.
That's still weight. It's not fat, and that's what people need to understand, that when you have these conditions, lymphedema and the lipedema, um, I still am very heavy now, and I have been to the doctors, and they've said I've probably got about at least 40 to 50 pounds of excess skin.
Oh,
So
wow.
you take that off, and I'm probably very close to my goal weight now. But
That's
I've got a lot
amazing.
of lipedema in my legs still and in my arms. it is what it is, and that's okay, It is. I've put
Can you just
myself here.
explain a little bit for people who don't know what lymphedema and lipedema are? Are you able to just share a little bit about what that is?
Yeah, sure. We actually have a great video on our channel, Todd, Michael, and myself. We
Mhm,
interviewed Dr. Leslyn Keith, and it's a 3-hour video, and she goes into so much detail. It's amazing. But lymphedema is just when your lymphatic system, it's the only organ or part of your body that doesn't have its own pump. So if you're very you need to sort of move, and there's things that you can do to just move this lymphatic system, fluid around your body, and that just pulls in mainly in your legs, in your arms, in your extremities, and you just swell up. So you're constantly swollen all the time, and it can be
mhm.
very painful to touch. Your limbs can get very hot and inflamed as well, and yeah, it's a nasty, nasty condition.
Yeah.
Lipedema is like the fat cells. I don't know what happens to them, but you can actually feel like my arms and in my legs, it's like a bag of peas. You get little nodules of fat, and they become very
Mhm.
hard, and yeah, that you can't liposuction them because the nodules are too big. They have to be,
Mm,
yeah. It's and I don't know exactly what causes it. I know my mother had it. You get your frame proportions are really odd, so you might be very slender at the top, but then you have very big legs and thighs, and that's sort of
mhm.
one sort of symptom that
Yeah.
people can know that they've got lipedema. But that also is a very painful condition as well. Like it just you get aches and pains from that, but they there's not a lot you can do about the conditions. I think they're there for life, but diet it helps me manage those conditions so well. I don't have the
Mhm.
pain that I used to have, the swelling that I used to have in my legs. That's pretty much all gone. I
Wow.
do find some foods trigger. If I have dairy, for instance, the edema in my legs comes back, so I have to stay away from dairy. But just doing this elimination diet, carnivore, you can test and see what things will flare up these conditions or flare up the pain. So it's just been amazing to manage my conditions. Carnivore has been fantastic. So
Yeah. So do you use I know like Bill, he uses a shake plate. Is that something that you've incorporated into your way of
oh,
life?
yeah. I've had my shake plate for about 5 years. I actually have it under my desk. Yeah, and I'd mentioned it to Todd and Michael, and I think
Yeah.
they've now gone to Bill and said, "Try this." I love
Yes.
it. My girlfriend actually had the shake plate, and she was moving house and says, "Oh, look, do you wanna borrow this?" I forgot to pack it, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I had it under my desk, and I found it was so helpful with
Mm.
reducing the swelling in my legs because I'm very sedentary, or I was back then. I would sit on my computer and do my work because I work from
Yeah.
home.
Mhm.
Everything's email based, and it would just help loosen all the edema in my legs and just make it a little bit easier for me to walk. So I really found it helpful. I'm now at a weight I can stand on it, so I still use it. And I've bought myself a second one, which I have in my bedroom, and I use it every morning and night before bed. And I
Nice.
love it. It just shakes everything around. And because I still obviously have the lymphedema issues, and by the
Mm.
end of the day, I do have a bit of swelling still, and that's normal. And it's still, yeah, it still helps.
Yeah.
I've also bought a rebounder, which also helps with
Nice.
lymphatics. And I just, because I broke my vibration plate, um, I wanted to, I just wanted to get something a little bit more, because I was feeling a little bit more active. I wanted to
Uh-huh.
try and, escalate my exercise. And I thought a rebounder might be good because I can stand up, I can try different moves and bounce different ways and work some different muscles. So I thought that might
Mhm.
be the next sort of part of my journey to escalate my carnivore. And that's been fantastic. So, and I have a treadmill as well. So I'm going to start incorporating a bit of that. So all
Mhm.
these things, they do help with my conditions. And is when you're 800 pounds, you're in pain, you don't want to work out. I mean, you can't. If physically is so difficult. Now that I'm feeling better, I want to work out. I want to do things. I want to move. It's just the progression of your journey. So, I hardly did any exercise at the start of my journey because
Mhm.
it was just too painful. But now that I'm feeling good, the inflammation's going down, you just want to do more and get out more. And yeah, I think that's important to realize as well. You don't have to be a gym nut and, and do all that thing. Carnivore does work really well. And when
Mhm.
you're feeling good, then you'll want to start working out. And you shouldn't do it before you're ready to do that, I don't think. There's no
This is
need.
interesting. I was just on a live stream on my channel earlier talking about motivation and my struggle with motivation. Like for me, I am totally unmotivated to work out. Um, I don't even wanna, like, get up and take a walk or, the basic stuff, but when I'm talking to you who couldn't, you just couldn't even do it. If you wanted to, you couldn't. No
No.
motivation, but now you're like, "I'm free."
Yeah, no, I want to move. I used to be motivated by the TV. I'd watch other people hiking in bushes and doing things. I was like,
Mhm.
I would love to be able to do that, but there is no way I can even walk out the front door.
Yeah,
But now I am doing that stuff and I
that's
love it. And it is hard. Like I hate exercise. I
yeah.
honestly hate it. But I don't think going for a little bushwalk is exercise. I look at the birds, I look at the animals, I look at the scenery. To me, that's pleasant. We've got a local botanical gardens. I've been there a couple of
Oh,
times and just go for a stroll. I feed the ducks. I take, a little bit of food and some fruit and I feed all the animals. That to me, I love doing. So I don't
nice.
count that as exercise. It's more the
Mhm.
experience.
Yeah.
And that's how I get my movement in by doing things I actually enjoy. Going to a gym, that's not something I enjoy. Being around people wearing gym gear with my
Mhm.
body, it doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah,
But
same here. I
yeah, and I'm in awe at the people that can do that and enjoy doing that, and good luck to them. If it works for you and you enjoy doing it, keep doing it. But for me,
yes.
it's not something that I enjoy,
Mhm.
and I cannot sustain that lifestyle. So, yeah, just got to find what works for you, and yeah, it's just something you're gonna keep doing. Hey, big dog.
Yeah, this is Brenda. Hey, Brenda. It was amazing meeting in Austin. So let's talk a little bit about Hack Your Health since you brought it up.
Mhm. Wow.
Tell us about your experience. What happened in Austin?
Austin, it was a most amazing experience. I'll never forget it. It was just, I met so many beautiful carnivores, the doctors, they're all just such beautiful people. Just to meet everyone in real life. What you see online on YouTube on the videos is what you see in real life. Everyone is just so true to themselves and so real and such beautiful people. I'm just so sad that I'm so far away that I can't just come and meet and hug everybody like I
I
was
know.
over there. It was really hard coming back and being away from all of that. So I need to really try and find myself a little community here in Melbourne, Australia. And
Mhm.
so yeah, because I just feel so left out at the moment. But we'll get there. We need to just ramp up this message and get Carnival known out in the world. But Hack Your Health was amazing. Just meeting the people. Yeah, Todd was amazing. Yeah, Kerry Mann and Adam from Carnivore Today,
Yeah.
Homestead How, Lynn from Midlife Carnival, met the whole Healing Humanity team, and then
Yes.
just everybody I met was just I've got no words to describe it. Mm.
I know. It was absolutely incredible. I'm so glad I went, because I was really thinking about not going,
Right.
and I'm so glad I went. It was one of the best choices that I think I have made, was to go
Yeah.
meet everybody. Um,
Yeah.
and so, you were saying that you're in Melbourne, Australia, um, and are there any carnivores in your area?
I have met a few, but they're not diehard carnivores or anything. They do fall off the wagon quite a lot, and which is
Okay.
fine. We all struggle, we
Yeah.
struggle, but Yeah, I haven't really met too many. I'm sort of talking to a couple at the moment, and we're trying to organise a meetup, hopefully in the next
Nice.
month or two. And hopefully a few more will sort of come out of the woodwork, and yeah, we can just start a little community and do things here. So that's the plan. Hopefully, I can find some nice carnival, support down here. Just
Mhm.
just to have that connection. Yeah.
It is tough. I mean, even over here, there it seems like there's lots of carnivores, but, you know, per square mile, there are really not that many, you know what I mean? I, um, I'm not sure if I know of anyone who's strict carnivore that's in my area, that's close to me.
Mm.
Although I know that there are people like in Michigan, there's people in Wisconsin, all around. They're dispersed out all over the place. So I understand that plight, and it's challenging. So how does community play into your carnivore lifestyle? I mean, I know that without having I'm not sure, like, is anybody in your house a carnivore or, what does that community piece look like for you?
Yeah, my girls are not carnivore. My eldest, she's trying to be more low carb. She has type 1 diabetes, so low carb sort of works well for her, but
Mhm,
she loves her vegetables and things, so there's no way. She did do carnivore for about a month and she had amazing results, but those veggies were just too tempting for her. The other
mhm,
one, not interested. She's
yeah.
happy with her sad diet. Husband, I call him my dirty carnivore. He is carnivore at home with me, but when we go out, any opportunity to have his iced coffees or whatever. But I'm okay with that now. Like, I just have to remind myself this is my journey. I can have an iced coffee too, but I know I won't stop at one. I want more,
Right.
and that's
Yep.
going to cause me to spiral. So there's a reason why I don't have those treats. It's because I know that I'm an abstainer and I need to abstain from those things
Yep.
to keep my life. I don't wanna go back. I do not wanna be 800 pounds again, and I know how easy it would be for me to get back to that stage, and that's what makes me strong, and, I'm happy to sit there and I can watch other people eat. I can have a packet of chocolate biscuits, Tim Tams in front of me and not be tempted at all. I don't
Right.
have a pull to eat it. I just don't care. I just look at it and I just think, to me, that's 800 pounds worth of damage just sitting there, and one is not going to be enough. I
Right.
just want more. So you just have to keep reminding yourself, and it's a daily talk to yourself to keep you motivated. I've been with SBG gang for pretty much the whole 2.5 or 2 years. I did leave at one stage because I thought I've learned everything I need to know. I don't really need much more from a community. I can do this on my own.
Mhm.
So I left for a couple of months and I found myself slipping. My mind was going wandering, and those biscuits were looking tempting. And
Mhm.
I'm just thinking, no, I need community. I stopped watching all my carnivore videos, and I just found the noise from friends and family and watching other people eat was just getting too noisy for me again. And so I had to jump back in the community and just remind myself, be with people that I don't feel like a freak,
Yep.
and I don't care if people are keto or carnivore or ketovore. Like, to me, I love the Dr. Berry's message that it's a spectrum and you need to find what works for you. But the sad diet is, just have one biscuit, you've gotta live. No, I am living now. That one biscuit is gonna throw me. It's gonna
I
cause me to
know.
spiral, and I don't
Absolutely.
need those messages in my life of people just saying, "Just moderate, just exercise a little bit, and it's calories in and calories out." Like, those messages are just they mean nothing to me.
Yep.
I'm an addict and those don't work. I eat carnivore. I don't track, I don't measure. I just eat when I'm hungry and I stop when I'm not. And those cravings, they're not there when I eat carnivore.
Mm.
If I do
Mhm.
have a little bit of veg, like sometimes I'll have some vegetables that my mother-in-law, she goes to, the trouble to make something. All the
Mm,
way home, I'm going like, "There's McDonald's, there's KFC, there," and I'm like, "No, go home, have some steak," and that goes away. Um,
yeah,
just a vegetable will start to trigger those cravings.
they
So,
do. They absolutely do.
yeah,
And I was just talking about, like, Lisa Wiedemann and how she talks about having sober behavior around various foods,
yeah,
and I also am an abstainer. I have to abstain because everything that if I start dibbling and dabbling this and that, I'm on a
yeah,
slippery slope, you know,
yeah,
and that, just like what you were saying, that whole your mind starts racing again.
yes,
And it's a terrible, terrible feeling, that whole mind thing around food. Like, I could have this, like, I had a craving for barbecue sauce this week. I was just on vacation with my family. I had these barbecue flavored chicken chips.
mm,
So technically carnivore, but the
yeah,
spice that was on it had sugar in it. So the
yes,
next thing you know, I'm thinking about, "Ooh, how good some barbecue sauce would be." Now I haven't
yeah,
thought about barbecue sauce in a year,
yep.
but all of a sudden it's like, "Oh, barbecue sauce. Yes, that sounds right." No.
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 Yeah, and then you just think, "Oh, it's only a little bit, I can do it," but then the next day you want some, and then the next day, and then you might have it twice a day, and it's just that
Yeah.
spiral starts to happen,
Yep.
something else will come in. So it's all those little bits, they do add up over time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with you. I totally agree. I'm absolutely an abstainer. I have to remind myself. I did a video about it last summer, about abstinence and addiction, and the only way of for me, now I know other people have different philosophies. Maybe they've never been addicted to anything.
Mm,
But if you've ever been addicted to something, abstinence is the cure for addiction. And
yeah,
so, that to me, that's the only way, and I'm seeing that because I'm introducing a couple of things back in, and I realize, okay, I'm not able to, I'm not a moderator. So if I start adding some, I'm going to keep adding more and more and more of the thing that I don't want in my life. So,
yeah.
yeah.
And some people say that it's an eating disorder being carnivore because you're just restricting yourself and all that. And I've had that. I'm orthorexic, I was told. Like, whatever. But look, I am at a stage now. It's been 2.5 years that if we go out, like I'm going out for lunch after this live stream with my daughters. We're going out for my birthday. We're having a bit of a Sunday lunch, and I'll eat as clean as I can while I'm there. I mean, there's
Mhm.
always sauces or some spice on there. I mean, I don't make a huge deal at restaurants, but I'm giving myself permission to go there. I'll eat meat, and I'm even giving myself permission to have a small piece of birthday cake. Whether I
Oh,
have it at the time or not, I will make a decision. Usually, when I give myself permission and that cake is put in front of me, I usually just think, oh, no, I don't really want it. And I give it to someone else to eat. But if I do have it, I will eat it. But then that's it. No more after that. Leftovers go home with the kids. They
yeah,
can take it. Not having it in my house. And then it's straight back on the carnival wagon. So
yeah.
I'm now at a point where I can, if I go out, do things like that. And it's not
Mhm.
going to throw me because I'm giving myself permission just for that one meal to have one slice of cake and it's not going to be a huge, I'm not going to have like a whole cake. It'll be just a little bit just to give a bit of a
Right.
taste. I'm not feeling weird. I'm not feeling deprived or whatever, but I'm
Yeah.
comfortable with that now.
I
But
wanna
then,
say, though, that you have been doing carnivore for 2.5 years.
correct.
So
Yeah.
just for anybody who's listening to that, that's the time frame that it took her to get into this mind state where she can do that.
And
And,
it's not every week that I would do this. This is like once every 4, 5, 6 months when there's a birthday or something really special
yeah,
yeah, otherwise I just stay strict. There's no, "Oh, I'll do a weekly treat or something." None of that. I don't plan it because
yeah.
then you're just working. If you say, "I'll give myself a treat on a Sunday," every
When's
Sunday, you're
Sunday?
just waiting for that Sunday every time. I don't wanna get into those habits or
Right. Yep.
yeah,
It's a contributing to that whole obsession thing.
Yeah.
I feel that way a lot about tracking. That
Yeah.
tracking definitely contributes to my obsessive thinking about food. So I struggle because I'm trying to do some tracking right now, but I don't want to obsess about it, because I had that total food obsession before I started carnivore, and I just don't want to go back to that mindset. So I feel
Yeah.
that when you plan to cheat, that's what happens.
It does.
The
Yeah,
food
it
comes
does throw
back.
you out. Yeah, I don't like to weigh myself every day either. Again, that can set you up for failure because I have
Mhm.
a lot of fluid that piles up through the day and, with my lymphedema. And so I sort of think, oh my gosh, I've put on 5 kilos overnight. And sometimes, or, through the day, and I think, yeah, it's water weight. It's not fat. I'm not eating crap. How can it
Right.
be? How can I be putting on weight? I'm not eating sugars and processed foods or anything. And it's just that water weight that comes and goes. If I do a bit of extra exercise or if it's a hot day, the hot day increases the fluid. So now I know
Mm.
not to focus on the scales.
Right.
I just don't
Yeah.
look at it. I might weigh myself. I see the number. If it goes up, I'm like, whatever. If I see it go down, I'm always excited by it going down, but
Yeah.
I'm not phased by it anymore. So yeah, I just don't like to track anything. There will be a time where I might need to track food, and that's a really good tool if you do have
Mhm.
a major stall or something, and you can track for
Yes.
a little bit and see where you're at, but not something that you would do every day. It's just a tool, like fasting's a tool, and yeah,
Yeah.
definitely things to keep in your tool belt.
Absolutely. So are you still in like a weight loss kind of a mode, or are you maintaining at this point?
Sort of had stalled a little bit, but Todd had the same thing last year. Seems winter you tend to hold on to the weight. Like
Mm.
I'm not gaining, I'm maintaining, but
Mhm.
everything seems to be at a standstill. But I've lost a lot of weight quickly, so I'm kind of
Yes.
expecting that.
Mhm.
And Dr. Berry is always the same. He's like, you have lost a lot of weight. Your body needs time to heal and to catch
Yes.
up. So I'm okay with that. And I'm hoping, now that it's summer in the US, Todd's losing weight again, and I'm just like, it's my winter here, so this is my time to stall out and heal my body, and then maybe in summer things will pick up and I'll start to lose weight again. So that's
Right.
what I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure that that's what's happening. That I'm just like a bear in hibernation now and healing my body. So
So
yeah,
your
there's no
winter is
hurry.
opposite of ours. We're in getting ready to hit summer here. It must be
Yeah.
already did. Yeah. So you guys are opposite of
Yeah,
us.
we're in the thick of winter here. I hate it. It's freezing. I miss
What's the
Texas heat.
weather like? Like, what's the weather like over there in
Oh,
Australia?
we've actually, I don't know if you can see, it's not very clear, but we do have a bit of blue sky today, but it's cold. And now that I've lost so much weight, I really feel the cold. Like I'm just
Mm.
always cold now. So yeah,
Mhm.
we've got the heater on. I've got my little heater on at my feet as well as the
Me too.
large heater. And then
Summer
my
here.
yeah, my winter woolies on. Um, but definitely not as cold as you guys. I think you get a lot of snow down there. We don't have snow where I am. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, that's nice. No snow, so it doesn't get
no,
that.
yeah.
Oh, wow, nice. Okay, so I'm gonna pop up some of these. I've starred a bunch of things. First of all, everybody wants to wish you a happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, tomorrow, big day. The girls, and my husband have actually put in for a smoker because, yeah, Ashley,
Oh,
carnivore brother, he was making some amazing meat in
oh,
Texas,
man.
and he gave me a bit of a lesson. I thought, "I can do this. I'm gonna smoke my own meat." So he found a model that, is within my budget that I can
Yeah.
actually smoke my own meat. So
Oh, that's gonna
I'm
be awesome.
so excited. That's coming today. So
I can't wait to see the videos.
Oh god, yes. Yeah, I'll definitely be doing a video on my beautiful smoker, and I've already
That
told my husband he's not allowed to touch, it's my smoker.
right.
So I'll
And
be
that is
smoking the
something that
meat.
I want, but I have my stepdad has a smoker,
Okay.
and, we all just kind of helped him to buy a big old smoker. It's huge. I
Yep.
mean, you could do a whole family reunion.
Yeah, no,
But,
Ashley's was amazing, but I
yeah,
couldn't afford that one. That was way out of my budget. So if this is
yes,
gonna be enough for us, I'll be able to smoke, my meat on a Sunday, and I've got food for the week to feed hubby and
yes,
I, so I'm so
that is
excited.
awesome.
Yeah,
Is awesome. So, Brenda says happy birthday, and then we have
thank
a couple of
you.
questions. Um, let's see here. Let's just pull these questions up here. Sonia says you have an amazing story, Lindy. I was wondering how losing the water weight played out. You must have been peeing all day. Curious to know.
Yeah, no, well, I don't normally. I normally retain all my water, so throughout the day, and then I'd be peeing all night. And even while I was losing water, same thing. Through the day, I just retain everything. So nighttime, I'm
Mm,
always at my heaviest, and then I get up 3, 4, 5, up to 6 times a night. So
wow.
that really affects your sleep when you're peeing through the night.
Right.
Even now, I find we've been doing a bit of an experiment with amino acids. So I've got some here. They're
Oh,
optimal aminos. When I take those, I take 5 in the morning and 5 at night. I actually pee through the day like a normal person. And I was like, this is really good. So I'm not so
yeah,
inflamed at nighttime when I go to
right.
bed. And I don't know what it is about the aminos, but when I take those daily, I do pee throughout the day. So that's
Oh,
been
okay.
really good. Yeah. But nowadays, I don't have to get up so much. Some nights I go all night without having to pee, and other times it might be
Nice.
just once, maybe about 2 or 3, depending on how much I had to drink before bed. So,
Right. Do you
yeah.
drink a lot of water during the day?
No, I don't drink a lot at all. This bottle I've had for 2 days. That's all I've had. I've
Okay.
never been a drinker. I obviously used to drink a lot of soft drink because of that.
Mhm.
Before I started carnivore, we could easily drink because you drink it and it's just like sugar water. You just want more, more, and more. But when it comes to water, I don't feel thirsty, so I don't drink. So I just have a little sip here and there. And my husband's always like, "Oh, I'll replace your bottle." I'm like, "No, no, no, I don't want to waste my water." End up he waters my plants with it because I hate wasting water, but he likes me
Mhm.
to have a fresh water every day. I
Yeah, you should
just
have a fresh water every day.
yeah, I just don't drink very much. So, hmm.
So, I'm just gonna pop this up right here. This is Sonia Dar. She says, "Interesting. Vitamin D solve my nocturne." Nocturne? I don't know how you say it, but must be
Okay.
going pee at night.
All right. Well, I'm very deficient in
Nocturia.
vitamin
Oh,
D, so
nocturia. Sorry, nocturia.
so I don't even know what that is.
Must be going pee at night. Sonia, maybe you can
Maybe.
give us a definition, but yeah, I'm sure this has to do with going pee at night.
Yeah. I'm actually on supplements of vitamin D. I've been
Okay.
deficient for a long time. So,
Mhm.
and I just had an interview with Dr. Tony Hampton, and he said recommends I have K2 with my vitamin D. So I need to go
Yes.
and buy some of that that
Yep.
I haven't been having. So that video should be out in a few days. I think it was with Bella Steak and Butter Gang and Dr. Hampton going over my bloods.
Awesome.
So
Oh, I love
yeah,
Dr. Tony. He's awesome.
he is amazing. So, yeah, so he recommended, K2 with my vitamin D.
Yeah, I'm doing the same thing. I've been taking high doses of vitamin D for years because I had
Mhm.
really low vitamin D. So, I was talking to Laura at Healthy Carnivore, who's one of my co-hosts on the Meaty Mondays show, with the group of ladies that we have on Monday nights. And she was the one who told me about the D3 and K2 that it helps me
Yeah.
absorb better. So yeah, very good. Let me go back here. I think there was another question. So this is Sandra. She wants to know, did you see Bill walking on his last video? Yes,
I did actually watch one this morning, yeah, and he was walking on that one, and he went
he
through it like a
was.
little four-wheel drive track on his little yeah, it's amazing to see him get outside finally and do
Is.
things. It's such a nice feeling when you can get out. So,
Yes.
I think he's got a trip planned for later in the week. somewhere he hasn't been for like 7 years or
I
something,
know
so
you didn't tell us where it was. I'm like, "Okay."
no, in public. That's a huge step just to feel confident to go out, in public again.
Yes,
Yeah,
I am so excited for Bill. I tell you, his story is absolutely incredible. I love Bill. I watch everything he puts out. I know I have a hard time watching everybody. There's so many carnivores out here now, like so many content creators. It's really
yeah,
hard. You want to support everybody's channel, but I always watch Bill because, I mean, he has an incredible story. Like you have
mm.
an incredible story,
Yeah,
and
no, Bill is very courageous. Obviously, I started my YouTube channel well into my journey because I was
mhm,
the only one that was that big, and I was very shy, but, yeah, so I get a lot of flack for that, I didn't believe in carnivore. I didn't think I'd be able to change my life with it. So now that I'm sharing now, I am disappointed. I wish I had have documented my journey from day one, but I just didn't believe in it. So,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean, I think people I mean, if you think about what we've been taught, right? Carnivore sounds insane. Like,
Oh, it
who does
is.
that?
Absolutely, and, I still think it's insane, but God, I'm not gonna go back. I'm never gonna
No,
change. This is
yeah,
awesome. I feel amazing. And I have people still telling me, like even going to the doctors now, I have my blood tests and things like that, just, to check on things, make sure everything's okay. And they're like, "Would you like Ozempic?" I'm like, "No, I'm quite happy with what I'm doing. Why would I want to
right,
inject drugs and things when this is obviously
mhm,
working?" And
right.
I just can't believe that they're still offering me that after losing 500 pounds. That's just does my head in. Yeah.
So Mark Smiths is saying, "Pray for Bill not right now. His area is having a wildfire, and we know, like, Bill's whole place burned down in a wildfire before. So, yeah, we'll definitely keep Bill in our prayers, and hopefully he'll be safe and everything will be fine. So, thank you, Mark,
Mm.
for letting us know. Sonia says, I've been taking 1,000 IU of D3 daily and have done for a few years. Same thing. That's what I was doing too. Whenever I stop, my D levels fall to dangerously low levels. Interesting. Yeah, I've been on 10,000 IU for a long time.
Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
currently on 5, but,
Mhm.
Dr. Hampton said I could ramp it up to 10.
Mhm.
But the last appointment I had, she actually reduced me down to 3. And I'm like
Oh,
so I've
really?
bumped myself back up to 5 again. I thought,
Yeah.
I'll do 5, that's sort of halfway, meet
Mhm.
meet meet both
Yeah,
halfway."
that's
But
good.
I'll add the K2 because my doctor didn't mention anything about K2, and I've heard that a lot, Dr. Berry and all
Mhm.
that, but to have a doctor personally tell me I should do it, I'm like,
Yeah,
"Yes, I'm gonna go
yeah.
ahead and do that."
I think that's a great idea. All right,
Yeah.
one more question here. So, Sizzle Serve Yum, she wants to know, how long have you been on carnivore and what is your favorite meat?
I've been carnivore 2.5 years, actually on the 3rd of July, so in 3 days will be exactly 2.5 years.
Happy carniversary too.
Thank you.
My
Yeah,
gosh, you got a
yeah.
lot of great things going on.
It's a good time of year for sure.
Yes.
My favorite type of meat, oh my gosh, I love ribeyes. I've only ever had 1 ribeye in my life, or 2, because I had one in Texas. Loved that, and I
Mhm.
have had a tomahawk, which I loved, which is a similar cut, I believe. But yeah, they're very expensive, so I don't eat them a
Yes.
lot of the time. But um, I do have a lot of Scotch fillet. I find that's really
Okay.
nice. I'm not sure what that is in America because I know we have different names here in Australia.
Let me
But
look it up real quick. See what
yeah,
it
Scotch
is.
fillet. That's a nice cut, it's nice and tender, and I'm really basic with my cooking. Everything's in the air fryer, just a couple of minutes and it's done. I'm not a meat snob that has to use cast iron and cook it and rest it. I haven't got time for that. It's quick and easy for me.
Oh, that is a ribeye.
Oh, it is a ribeye. Oh, so wow,
It is a
okay.
boneless ribeye or rib fillet. Perfect.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's not as expensive as a ribeye, but it's still, yeah, it is a
Mm,
little bit more expensive, but I don't eat 3 meals a day and I don't have snacks. So really it is
okay.
very cheap to be on carnivore for me.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
So tell us, how are you eating and what are you eating on a daily basis?
It's usually 1 meal a day, sometimes 2. If I do try and have the bigger meal around lunchtime or 1 o'clock will be my first meal, and I'll probably have a steak. But because I still have this lap band restriction, I struggle. It takes me 2 hours to eat. So I just sort of chop it into little bits and I just, while I'm working, I just sort of graze on that.
Uh-huh.
And then at night time, I don't like to have anything too heavy because of that restriction again. So I might just, I've been making like an egg coolada, which there was a recipe given to me by Annalisa from Meet and Marriage. And it's just basically 5 or 6 egg yolks, and then I put a tablespoon of butter, tablespoon of tallow, and I fill it up with hot water and I blitz
Mm,
it in my NutriBullet. I know Annalisa puts a bit of monk fruit or sometimes a vanilla or cinnamon in it to give it a bit of a sweet taste. I personally don't do that because that sweet would make me want a lot more. And I drink that, and it's just like it's really creamy, and I have it hot because it's winter, um, and it's just like a warm hug. I drink that, and I feel nice, and it's like having a hot chocolate before bed. I have a hot colada, and it's really,
nice.
really nice to have, and I don't feel full or bloated afterwards. It's nice and fatty, and it just, yeah, I love it. And I have had it chilled before, so I'll make it the night before, pop it in the fridge, and the next day have it cool, cold for breakfast or lunch, or have
Mhm.
it for dinner cold. So in summer, you can have it as a cold beverage. It's beautiful.
Nice. That
Mm,
sounds awesome. I have not
yeah.
tried the egg colada.
Yeah. Well, if you want something, but you don't want to have a huge, heavy meal, it's the perfect. But I don't use the egg whites. Too many raw egg whites can be
Okay.
dangerous. So I just use the egg yolks. And I haven't found a good way to use the egg whites. A few people have said you do scrambled eggs with them, but I don't do a lot of scrambles. So,
Well, I
yeah.
can tell you, Chris Cooking
Oh,
Nashville has an amazing recipe for mashed potatoes, carnivore mashed potatoes
oh, okay.
made out of egg whites. They're so good.
Oh, okay.
He's
Yeah.
making a lot
I
of really
don't,
cool stuff out of egg whites, so yeah, pretty
yeah.
amazing stuff.
I don't do a lot of carnival recipes. I know there's some amazing channels out there, but to me,
Mhm.
I just find they might be a little bit too, if I find something I'd like, I'll want to have it a lot more. So it
Yeah.
could be dangerous for me. That's why I just keep it really simple. My
Mhm.
life is not focused, or it doesn't revolve around food anymore. I just eat if, just to fill up the hole in my tummy if I've got
Yeah,
a few tummy grumbles, and then I don't want to think about food ever again. I just want to
right.
go and do whatever I have to do. And so food's not important to me anymore.
So are you
So
just cooking like, how are you preparing your meats? What's your favorite?
literally, I take it out of the freezer, so it's frozen, and I throw it in the air fryer in the preheat, flip it for 2 minutes, and then cook it. So it's nice and rare on the inside. I don't even rest it. I just chop it into little bits. And sometimes I pop some like a hot sauce on it. Todd talks about putting hot sauce on it. It helps with digesting the fat in it, and also gives you a bit of a boost of energy,
Mhm.
and a bit of salt, and that's it. And I
Okay.
just sort of graze on that. I'm very simple, very, very simple. But now that I've got the smoker, in a few hours, I'll have my smoker. I'll
So
definitely
good.
be experimenting with that and putting on some big, like some, I think prime rib, I think is what Ashley told me to buy. So that'll be the
Mhm.
first cut that I buy,
Oh
and I'll
my
be able to make it on a Sunday, and that will feed hubby and I for the week. So I can
Yes.
just, I don't know, just chop it up and put little bits in the air fryer, make crispy bits, or I don't know how I'm going to do it yet, but I just love the fact that I only have to cook for a week and then I've got meat for days.
Yeah, that's gonna be really,
Yeah.
really nice. Yeah, I love that technique actually of taking a frozen, ribeye out of the freezer and
Mm,
just putting it in the air fryer. It's still delicious, it's so good, and just super, super simple. And I'm a person who loves to cook. I always cooked all these different recipes. I would go to the library and get cookbooks. I would buy cookbooks. I always
Yes.
cooked all kinds of recipes. And so that is one thing that I do miss is like all the variety, different tastes. I would go and get, international cookbooks and try different recipes from all over the world. And
Yeah.
so that's one thing I do miss, but the simplicity of carnivore cannot be beat. It's so, so simple. I love
Yeah. And I just have much better things to spend my time on than cooking right
it. Mhm,
now. Like, I want to
mhm.
get out in the world and I want to do things,
Yeah,
just experience life. And I don't want food to be a main part of my life anymore. It's not my focus.
yeah, totally, totally get it. So, you talked a little bit about the fact that you joined the steak and butter gang. You were having some challenges, but you had been with it. So when you first started carnivore, what were the challenges that you had as in, in the initial phases, if you can still remember 2.5 years ago? What
Yeah,
were
just
some
the
of the challenges?
cravings. I just
Mm,
always craved and felt like I was missing out. I'd be
yep,
sitting there having a steak and my husband's on the couch eating Chinese. Like, how do you sort of felt like, oh, I want some of that Chinese. That smells good. I'm missing out. And yeah,
yeah,
just it wasn't until like Raymond Demerly said, "This is your journey.
mm,
Why are you doing this?" And it made me realize, yeah, my hubby can have Chinese, but he can moderate.
yeah,
So if that works for him and he's doing that, I mean, why should he have to go without? And once I sort of accepted that,
yeah.
it was a lot easier. But I needed somebody to tell me that. It's something I couldn't figure out on my own. It was just like
It's
the
a
journey
hard
was,
thing. It is really
yeah,
hard, particularly I find with the people that you love, and the amazing health benefits that you've seen, the lifting of the brain fog and the more energy and all of the things that you've seen, and then it's really, really hard. It
yeah.
I find it to be difficult, you know, um, to see my family still eating a sad diet. I feel sad that they're still eating sad.
I know, but you can't change them and you can't make them, and I
Right.
don't want them to resent me or not want to talk to me
Yeah.
because I'm preaching to them all the time. I'm
Yeah.
constantly
Yep.
my husband, he's like gun ho carnivore. Whenever we go out, he's just praising the words of carnivore. And I'm like, hang on, you're not even half carnivore, you're only carnivore part-time.
Right.
And he's really
Mhm.
like, and I have to kick him under the table constantly and say, "Would you just shut up?" Because here he is eating something non-carnivore, saying how good carnivore is. Because look at
Yes.
Lindy, she's a great
Right.
example.
That is
But
hilarious.
you think it would be me that's praising, but I zip it up. I don't like to preach. People do what that works for them, and
Right.
some people don't need to do carnivore. They're quite
That's
happy and
true.
content where they are, and if it's working for them, congratulations. But if there's a time where something happens and you think, I need
Yes.
to change it up,
Mhm.
carnival's there. It's an option. They can see what it's done
Right.
to me. Maybe they'll come and ask me questions, and I'm more than happy to help people through and tell them my experiences and point them to some really good videos about whatever they want to heal. And I'll be there for them. But I
Yeah.
will not preach or, unless I'm
Yep.
asked. So,
Same here. Yep. I don't even
yeah.
talk about it anymore. When I first started, I talked more about it, but I started my YouTube channel so that I could talk as much as I want. Whoever
Exactly.
wants to listen, listen, and then whoever doesn't have to.
Exactly, you just move along to the next video if you're not interested, that's fine, but you
Yes,
just watch what
exactly.
you want, so as long as
Right.
we can reach people who are looking for an answer, that need help with something that we've experienced, then just to change one person's life and give them a bit of hope, that's so
Absolutely.
important, so, why not pass it on?
I totally agree. So tell me about your channel. I'm gonna share your channel.
Yeah,
Um,
Limitless Lindy. I have
yeah.
to give all kudos to Bella for the name because she was like, "Oh, we need to find you a really cool name, something LL." And so we were trying to think of all these L words, and my daughter came up with Lindy loses it, and I'm like, oh, that could be Lindy loses her marbles because she's doing carnival. But yeah, Limitless came up, and we thought, no, I love that.
Yeah.
There's no limits, just we're changing our diet, and I've gone from, housebound and totally had one foot in the grave to now living my life. So here's the beautiful midlife carnivore, Lynn. We're
Yeah.
currently doing an arm flab challenge. So we've got this video we watched from Dr. Eric Berg, and he
Yes.
suggests this video. So we're doing this 15-minute sort of exercise every morning to try and shrink our bat wings. Yeah, we've both got a few, a bit of excess
I'm doing
skin
it
there.
too. I just started
Yeah.
yesterday.
Oh, congratulations. It's
Ooh,
hard
it's hard.
work. The burn is real. And my husband's like,
Yes.
oh, that looks so easy. I'm a bus
Oh my
driver.
God.
I'm like, do it with me. We'll see how easy it is. So I'm
Right.
going to try and get
Right.
him to
It's
do a
hard.
video with me. But
Yes.
yeah, we'll see how that goes. Like if we lose some inches or centimeters, excellent. If not, we're building our
Yes.
strength. So it's like a win-win either way. But yeah, just documenting my journey. I'm a little bit behind in my videos. But I need to ramp that up. We also do if you click on the live tab, I do a live stream with Todd and Michael every Monday, will be your Sunday in the US. And
Mhm.
yeah, we talk about 700 plus pounds and counting
Wow.
down. So we do a live stream
Amazing.
every week, trying to motivate other people who are lost and think that they can't do it. We're here to help and be there to support. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
yeah,
Very, very good. And I know that you're part of the Steak and Butter gang,
yes,
so that is something that's, really, really good. I did join Steak and Butter gang for just 1 month. So, but yeah, the support is really, really nice. I love the fact that they have those, Zooms and you can come in and ask questions, and that community piece is just such a huge, huge thing,
yeah.
particularly, you're the only person in your family that's a carnivore. It's hard sometimes.
It is. They have about 8 to 10 meetings per month on fasting, feasting. They have NSV, which is non-scale victory calls, where they're my
Mhm.
favourite meetings. You just look, you jump into Zoom. You can have your camera on or off. For the first quite a few months, I didn't turn my camera on at all. I was very shy. I didn't want to be seen, and that's not a problem. And we just listen to people's NSVs. You see these grandmothers who have got these little walking frames, and
Mhm.
they're now jumping on the floor with their kids, with their
Amazing.
grandkids, and getting up off the floor and taking them to the park and getting their life back. People healing all sorts of conditions, and just listening to those NSVs really keep you motivated. I don't follow the fasting and feasting protocol too much because of my lap band restriction, and I also find it difficult to fast. I think it's just that mentality. Sometimes I just think, oh, if I'm torturing myself if I have to fast. But
Right.
I learn so much just by sitting in those meetings. Somebody will raise a question. I'm like, that's me. And I listen to what the
Mhm.
responses were, and I learn from every meeting that I attend. So I moderate in there now. I just love the meetings so much because I learn so much, and just being there with the community, hearing other people's stories, the tears and the wins that people gain. It
Yes.
just it's so inspiring. They also have a 6-hour daily chat, so run by Coach Amy. So for 6 hours, you can pop in anytime you like and stay for 5 minutes or stay for the whole 6 hours. And they talk about anything and everything, answer your questions. It's a
Amazing.
really, when you don't have support or someone to talk to, where you are the freak in the in the world, in your little personal space, to be with
Yes,
like-minded people and have that support is so, I love it. It's so important. Yeah.
absolutely. Totally agree. Totally agree. We are almost out of time. I have one more question that's in the chat. So Josephine C wants to know, after working out and ending up overdoing it, what do you do to help with the pain the next day?
Take a day off if you need to. Like,
Yeah.
listen to your body. If you're really sore, you don't want to. I don't believe you should push through and hurt yourself even more. I've had a couple of days off in between my workouts because I really felt the pain, and then get back into it. But you don't let it go on for 3 or 4 months. Just
Right.
give yourself that day rest, give yourself some grace. Do if you're doing the arm challenge, maybe work on your legs, jump on the rebounder or on a vibration plate, or just go for a little walk around the block. Work your lower body instead of your top. Do something that you enjoy, but don't push through it too much.
Yeah.
Um, it may not be the right. I know a lot of people say push through it. Don't be lazy, blah blah blah. But I think be kind to your body and don't push it. You don't wanna hurt yourself and then just throw yourself off
Mhm.
track. So,
I think that that is a very great piece of advice. And Lindy, I'm not going to hold you any longer. We've been here for 1 hour, and I appreciate you so much. I love the work that you're doing over on your channel. You guys are doing a great job. I sometimes am able to catch you and Todd, the 700 pounds and counting live streams. And like I said, it's hard to watch everybody, but I really, really appreciate what you're doing and the gift that you're giving, because for you to be sharing, from 800 pounds down to where you are today. I think you said that you're going to be having some surgeries as well.
yeah, skin removal surgery. So August, I have my pre-op appointment, and February, I'm booked in to have my stomach done. So
Mm.
I've got about 10 kilos. Um, I don't know, is that 22 pounds, I
22
think.
pounds, yeah, about 22
Just
pounds, yeah.
Yeah, just in my tummy to come off. So that's gonna
Mhm.
be a huge difference. It'll just give me my
Yes,
life back and make exercise a lot easier and buying clothes a lot easier. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So that's a huge
excited for
thing.
you. I'm so
Mm.
excited for you, and I appreciate you because it's giving hope to people who are in your same situation. And it's just absolutely incredible. So incredible. So if you had just one thing to say to everybody, one final word, what would it be?
I'll start today. Don't wait. If you need to change, you need to change it, whatever, to heal, or you need to lose weight or whatever, this is the way to do it. Trust the process and enjoy the ride. Don't focus on the scale, just eat meat. So keep it simple.
Awesome. All right, you guys, you heard it here. Thank you so much, Lindy, for being here for Carnivorous Grandma Speaks, Women of Wisdom, and we will see you guys next time. Bye,
Thanks for having
everybody.
me.
You're
Bye.
welcome. Bye.